sister that you're probably going to have to take on some more of those tasks that usually you shared.
Yeah.
Which can be a little nerve-wracking and
Yeah.
anxious. Is there anything else that kind of just sort of adds to it?
I mean, I guess, like, I'm a full-time student, so, like, having to deal with assignments that are piling up towards the end of the semester and trying to focus on them and not worry so much about what's going on in real life and everything it's hard to keep my attention focused and guided on all that, so it's difficult to manage my worrying time, I guess.
Okay. So dad, school.
Yeah.
So how's that with, I heard you mention that you had some sisters and you had, did you have a brother?
I don't have a brother, no.
No? Okay. So you have how many sisters?
Two sisters.
Two sisters. And are they help out, but they're not...
So, well, I mean, they don't live here. They live up north in the Virginia area.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So
they're not here regularly, no. I mean, once or twice a year, it's about it, usually.
Mm-hmm.
Except when something like this happens, which is happening more, but not as often. And but they try to help when they have time, but they don't always, because they have their own lives and families and stuff. So it's.
So how's your relationship with them?
I mean, it's okay. Mainly. I guess one of them kind of gets on my nerves sometimes, but like our relationship is fine, and we all care about our dads. So like, we're all willing to do things to help. It's just that we all have other obligations and things, and mine put me here at the moment, and theirs is where they are. So it's tough working that out, I guess. But
and how's your dad's, I guess, in this relationship, yours and his relationship? From what I hear, it's a pretty good one.
Yeah, I mean, we care about each other a lot. We try to help whenever we can and whatever we need. I don't know, it's tough when something like this comes up, and not exactly the greatest time with a bunch of other pressures and stuff going on, so.
And that's hard, it has to be hard.
Yeah.
And I applaud you for even, like, it sounds like you're anxious because you know you need to do these things because you want to help your dad, and I hear that as being the underlying thing.
Yeah.
So, I guess keeping in mind everything, I'm going to ask you kind of an odd question, just to put this out there. So tonight, say you go to bed, and in the middle of the night, you don't know this happens, but a miracle happens. And the next morning you wake up, you still don't know whatever happened that night happened. What would be different from, say, tomorrow? Let's say tonight it happens tonight. So tomorrow versus today, what would be different?
What would be different? I'd wake up and I'd be able to focus more on housework and chores and my schoolwork, and I guess if I woke up tomorrow, my problem, I guess the first thing I'd notice would be that I'd feel like there's less of a weight on my shoulders. I'd stand up and sit up straighter. I'd feel better able to cope with the tasks of the day. I guess the most important thing, actually, maybe not the first, but the most important thing would be I'd feel like Dad would be okay, and I'd feel like everything would work out fine, and wouldn't have to worry about something going wrong or him needing help, or that I'd be confident that he'd be able to get help, whether it's me doing it or my sisters or nurses or whoever. That I'd be confident that whatever happens, that he'd be okay. So with the surgery and coming out of it, and recovery and what's even that called?
The recovery.
Yeah, like recovery, yeah, and yeah, that I'd feel more confident that Dad was okay, and that I'd be able to do what I could to help out.
Okay. And your dad's going for surgery
December.
December. Okay. So that's a lot. I mean, I can totally understand. I totally understand, wanting your father to be better. And that's not something that's, going to happen overnight necessarily. Yeah. But looking forward to December, so I guess we're worried because Dad's going to have this, let's be honest, kind of scary surgery.
Yeah.
And just thinking about all the things you're going to have to do to take care of him after that, plus school and finishing that up and finishing strong and all those kinds of things. So I'm hearing where I think the anxieties.
Yeah.
And you feel like you're feeling anxious.
Yeah.
Okay. So I understand that, like, the whole dad with surgery thing. That's kind of like a non-typical situation.
Yeah.
So with school, that's not something you can change. Like, he has to have the surgery.
Yeah.
All that kind of stuff. So, but things like with school and feeling anxious and worried, what are some things that you've done in the past that have, I guess, helped you, or maybe have caused you to? What times have been different? Like when you felt anxious, but then you've done something, or you didn't feel anxious anymore.
I guess at one point, like, when I've been able to, when I've been able to focus on a particular day, on figuring out when I've been able to keep a simple list of what needs to be done when, and I've been able to organize like that and keep myself on a tight schedule of that and get everything completed at certain times and certain time frames. Best example, one day when I was able to get up, do breakfast at home, start a load of clothes, and just immediately get started on the paper that was due in a week instead of the next day. That sort of experience, I'm able to work out ahead of time what I can do when I'm able to get more organized. I guess, to put it more simply, that's when I felt less stressed.
Okay.
Less anxious.
So, being able to list things.
Yeah.
That's great. That's awesome. A lot of people can list and then stick to it, like you said. So I know with your father's situation, it's not really expected. You can't really plan for those things. But I think So with school, though, I hear that you're doing that. You're making plans. You're making lists because that's something that you can control. You can do. So with his upcoming surgery, you said it was in December. When does school get over?
About the same time, really.
About the same time?
Yeah.
So are you worried, I guess, about the recovery after?
Yeah.
That's what I'm kind of hearing.
So I'm mainly worried about sort of just figuring out what to do afterwards.
So I guess, what are some things that you think you could do right now that would maybe prepare you for that time that you can see that's coming?
Maybe I probably need to do a lot more organization of just things around the house so that nothing's in the way or impede him getting about when he gets home. Making sure that we have enough, like, things we need for them, like making sure that we won't have to go out as much to like get toothbrush, toothpaste and everything, just
Right.
make sure that everything's accounted for and in a easy to reach place for both of us, for me getting it for him and for when he's like doing the physical therapy and he is able to move a little bit more, so it's still not too much for him later on in the two or 3 weeks or however many, and just making sure that everything's easier to reach.
Sorry, come back. I want to process.
Please.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. But just trying to organize more around the house and making sure everything's clean and not in the way, not like the couch in the way partially of
Right.
a door that he needs to go through. So just try to do what I can to move things and clean
The
things
house
up.
together.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. That sounds awesome. That you like. That was. Most people wouldn't think about doing that until after the fact, unless the doctor told them to do it or something like that. So that's great that you're already thinking about that in advance. So organizing. I hear that a lot.
Right.
So keeping that in mind, how likely on a scale? I'm gonna give you a scale here. So if you say 0 is like nothing's gonna happen at all, to you got like 10 here, and 10 is everything's done, everything's organized, I've got all my schoolwork done, Dad is gonna have surgery, but it's gonna be okay because I got the house ready, and I'm gonna be there ready, and I'm not gonna have this other than the worry over, of course, your father going through the surgery, but you're not gonna have to worry about after because it's ready. Where would you say that you are on just that feeling?
I'd say an 8 now.
An 8? That's
Yeah.
great. That's great. So the feeling of getting that done is
Yeah.
great. And why would you say that?
Just that I feel like I have more of a goal now. That I feel like now that I've figured out that like yeah, there's a lot to do there, but like just trying to think through of exactly what needs to be done when, that makes it a little easier to manage and swallow. So yeah.
So
Sorry.
what do you think could get you closer to like a 9 or a 10?
I guess knowing that I had more I guess knowing that I had more people to call for help, maybe like people to both reach out to when I need help, like if my sisters or whoever was available for long, or just people to keep me on task, just people to remind me, or some way to keep me focused on it. That would probably help me a lot, I think.
Focused on getting the organizing done?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So having someone there,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Those are great goals. So 8 out of 10. That's awesome. That's great to hear. And finding that one person that can maybe help you with the accountability and pushing it forward. Are your sisters here right now?
Not yet. They're coming down tomorrow and Wednesday. So.
That's awesome. So you maybe this week you could talk to them.
Yeah.
About getting some of that stuff done and helping them with that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. And getting that done would obviously take some of the anxiety off of
Yeah.
the feeling.
Make it a lot easier.
So do you think that we could maybe this week kind of talk to your sister, get that list going?
Yeah. I should be able to do that.
So that's the goal for this week. And next week we'll meet up again, say about, you can make a schedule with the secretary out there if you would like. But we're going to come back and we're going to talk about how you did those things, we're going to celebrate, or if you didn't, how maybe we need to take another step back and just look at that again.
Okay.
Is that okay?
Yeah. That sounds
I'll see you
fine.
next week.
Thank you.
Great.